This is a tutorial for SmartGrader integrated with the terraced feasibility planner Grasshopper. On the left, a big part of it is the terraced feasibility planner. On the right is the construction for SmartGrader. As for the controls of the tutorial, today we're going to be looking at this area. So pan to the right and zoom into this area. These are all the controls for SmartGrader. The purple ones are display controls and the green ones are inputs. We'll start with the vertex side corner levels. So we'll turn on the ID of the vertex, so we'll know which vertex levels to input right here, and these are the levels that we will be inputting. These are the vertex levels display. As you can see, index 0 is 4, index 1 is 3.3, index 2 is negative 0.75, and so on. Next, we have the label lines for visual aid, and lastly, the gradients for the perimeter roads. So the vertices will depend on the shape of the site. The more bends, the more vertices. In this case, we only have 7. I'll demo a bit by manipulating the values here. And as you can see, the gradients and the values all update. I'll turn this off so that we can focus on the next section. The next section is internal roads levels. So these roads that are facing the lots. We'll turn on the displays so you can see these start and end levels for the internal roads are all derived from vertice levels before. And you can also get the gradients of the internal roads as well as the individual chains. So you have to zoom in a bit. So this is a supplementary information. So I'll turn this off. There's also a center road line just for visual aid. There are no inputs for this section. This is meant for display only. Turn this off and we'll go to backlane levels. So backlanes are the smaller access at the rear of the lots. So I'll turn them on. So you get start and end levels, or highest and lowest levels. You get gradients as well, and individual chains as a supplementary information, similar to internal road levels before. Next is the lot levels breakdown. Each lot is divided into 3 areas: the porch in the front, living in the middle, and kitchen at the rear. Now, the rows are divided into 2 categories. The ones that are facing the reference edge, meaning the lot frontage is facing the reference edge, in this case this edge of the site, and the ones that have its porch or lot frontage facing away from the edge, which is this one. Okay, We'll see why in a moment. So we'll have to turn on the road levels for this purpose. We don't need the center lines. Okay, so we'll take a look at this row. The row facing the reference edge. So first is porch level, which is this. So the way that it's calculated is by referencing two corners, this corner and this corner. It's calculating both levels, but only one gets selected depending on the highest and lowest point of the road. So in this case, 4.28 on this side, negative 0.63 on this side. So back to that lot, the one on this corner is selected, so negative 0.42. And if you look at the road level chain, it checks out. So 0.42 here, 0.34 to 35 here, 26 to 28 there, and so on. Next is the living room levels. Now, the living room level is a value added to porch level, and the input is here. So porch level added by 150 mm equals 0.27. Negative 0.42 plus 150 mm equals negative 0.27. Next is the kitchen level. Kitchen level is also an input added to the level of the living. So negative 0.27 plus 300 mm equals 0.03. For the next part, we'll turn on the levels of the back lane. So from this, we can get the level difference between the kitchen and the back lane. I'll turn this on. So the level of the kitchen, in this case 0.03, plus or minus a closest level chain of the back lane. So in this case, we can actually turn it on. It's the closest chain level of the back lane to the kitchen would be negative 0.9. So 0.03 minus 0.9 equals negative 0.87. So the level of the kitchen is higher than the back lane by 0.87 cm. Now we're going to look at the rows that are facing away from the reference edge. I'll turn them on. The reason why we have two different categories, facing and away, is because of the slope direction. In this case, it's higher on this side and lower on this side. So that's the direction of down. So for the rows that are facing the reference edge, you want to enter the porch and go up to the living room and go back down to the kitchen. But for the rows that are facing away, you want to go in the porch, go up into the living room, and go up again into the kitchen. So you do control it here. So facing, you go into the porch, go up living, and go down to the kitchen. For away, you go into the porch, go up into the living, and go up some more into the kitchen. So that's why we have facing and away. So that's all of the SmartGrader controls. If you have any questions, let me know. Thank you.